The reason we exist is because you cannot stay ahead of all threats. So what we do is we block by default.
Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is. Hope you're doing well. So, what we got going on? You're here with E-Tech Millie, and we are doing a car wrapping training. Also, we're doing an ASE brake training as well, but that is a different session. That section will be going on after this session, and then it's 3 wrapping, 2 ASE brake training. The wrapping eventually, once we get all of the tools and equipment. So far, all we have is this nifty heat gun from Sqeegee for the most part, and I really like it for the most part. I'll just put it on for a second just to show how it works. All right, so if you notice, it has 2 different levels. We have 0, 1, and 2. 2 is high, 1 is low. Then, if you notice, it has the temperature gauge, and then right there it tells you this is the line of where the temperature is going to be at. So using one like this is something that you're going to need because when you're doing the wraps, it's not about high temperature. It's about a medium 175 to 195, and then at times it's going to be a 200 to 220, but never over 225. Just because it's like depending on what you want. To my understanding, is 175 to 195 degrees when you are looking to stretch it, and then when you are looking to do the corners, that's when you may get it over the 200. But yeah, outside that, one thing I can say is I kind of like the guard right here. You can tell it's like a heat guard, so that way if you were to set it down somewhere, well actually no. If you were to set it on its side, but you can't set it down like this, you have to set it on the side, and this right here will stop it from getting too hot. Because remember, when dealing with these heat guns, it's always about safety. Safety is the first thing you teach whenever you're dealing with workshop, and you might have to go through the workshop safety protocol more than anything else, where it might be for like the first week you might do it 2 times, then the next after about 3 weeks you might do it once, and then after that you do it every month, like once a month, where y'all at least, you know, hey, when you talk about them rags after doing the oil changes, put it in this canister. Don't forget they can instantaneously combust, because they can instantaneously combust. We put it in this, and you know, just going over things like that, and then how do you dispose of oil, you know, just really just the safety, you know what I'm saying, because safety is what stops from people from getting medical bills, losing limbs and fingers and stuff like that, as well as keeping OSHA off your backside. But yeah, so I just wanted to show y'all that, and just real quick, just listen to it. See, that's 1. That's level 1. It's like it's heating up right now. All right. Then you put that level 3 on, it sounds like it's going into overdrive. I'm not pointing at anything because right now it is, you know what I'll do is I'll bring it down to a temperature, because the thing about this one, all of the nudges before it starts getting high is under 212 degrees. So right now this is at the lowest degree right now. All right. And then once you start bringing it up, I guess you could say the little clock, once you start bringing it up, once we get here, it's at like 212. So when we are doing what we're going to be doing, I'm going to turn it off because there's no reason. The reason, I guess, is so y'all can hear the difference of 1 and 2. But when doing this, there's no reason to have it on. All right, so looking at this, if you are right here, this is 200. This is 1200 degrees, and then after that, we are now bringing it down, because remember, we have that arrow. So the 12 o'clock. So right around here, we're now getting to 212. And technically speaking, when doing this, when car wrapping, I guess the best kind of thought process is never to allow it to get to over 212. You know, even if it takes a little bit longer with 212 to get certain things done, that may be the best practice when working with this heat gun. All right. But yeah, if there's any companies that would like to send me something to really just play around with and get my skills up and master, you know, feel free. Contact me. All right, there's many ways to contact me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So again, that was really wrapping up yesterday's heat control, I guess you could say, and then showing the heat gun off. Now we are going to be working on squeegee techniques as well as bubble management. This is going to be the two things we're going to focus on in this session. Next session, we're going to be focused on edges. I guess it's going to be edges, hinges, and corners. That's what we're going to focus on next section. And the session after that, we're going to be just kind of going over all 6 skills at once. I mean, really 5 skills. We're going to be focused on 5 skills at once. The 6th skill is business cost, which in my opinion is something that is a totally different thing than actually doing it, because half of the people watching this is probably just doing it for themselves one time. You know, let's be honest. We really want that rat, but we're not gonna pay no $1,500 for that. We're gonna pay $300 and we're gonna do it ourselves. Why? Because I want that color, but now I'm not gonna pay no $1,500. What you got me messed up. So a lot of people are watching it for that, and other people are watching it for, you know, hey, let me go ahead and learn this trade so we can start hitting hitting the streets and make this money, you know. But there, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first thing I like to go over is the Sqeegee document, and this is just how to use the Sqeegee. All right, that's what we're going to be focused on. So let me go ahead and give y'all the full screen before we continue on. You know,
whether it be for car. Sqeegee. Cars, every second person around you will be having an automobile. The private automobile has changed modern civilization for more than a century by enabling independence and freedom of movement. Due to the growing distances between places like home, work, educational institutions, shopping malls, and recreational facilities, mobility is becoming more and more crucial. Having a car is not a difficult task, but maintaining one is. People spend hundreds or even millions of dollars buying a car, yet they are hesitant to maintain or detail it. All kinds of problems can arise if car maintenance is neglected. When you don't properly maintain your car, a number of performance factors are affected. Detailing is another key factor which people neglect. A comprehensive detail keeps an automobile in excellent condition better than running it through a car wash, which might be able to remove some dirt. In comparison to a vehicle wash, detailing safeguards an automobile's paint and interior so that they are less susceptible to wear and the elements. Sqeegee, a 10 cm x 8 cm vinyl applicator, is the most crucial equipment to include in your inventory of wrapping tools, which we are pitching and retailing. It comes with a diverse range of uses, including applying vinyl tinting windows, pasting decals and wallpaper, cleansing glass, removing snow, and mounting stickers. whether it be for car detailing or another usage. We continuously seek for goods that may serve multi-objectives, and therefore, we are serving the community with an extremely versatile product in the shape of Sqeegee. A squeegee should always be positioned in the 10 or 2 degree angle while using either a dragging or plowing technique. Every time we will begin in the middle of the panel and work our way out. Never use a squeegee parallel to the panel. Alternatively, always position it on its side at either the 2 or the 10 o'clock position. It doesn't matter if we drag or plow it. All that matters is that we apply solid, overlapping repetitive strokes. Nowadays, detailing a car is crucial. Not only the so-called car guys or car enthusiasts do it, but 8 out of 10 car owners also put effort into ensuring that their vehicles stand out because a car is just a car without detailing. Spending money on a tool like a squeegee, which satisfies several needs and is affordable, is a win-win situation.
All right, so we're talking about the application as far as the positioning right here, where it's saying 10 or 2 degree angle is needed when dragging or plowing technique. So we've seen that a few times with a lot of the people who are showing us how to do this squeegee business. But it is one of the most crucial equipment to be used in the wrapping repertoire. And if you have one that's not good, the results are not going to be good. Basically, they have diverse ranges of use. Some are meant for doing the snow, some are meant for wallpapering and tinting and all kind of things that we use squeegees for. But in this case, we need 10 centimeters to 8 centimeters vinyl applicator. That's what we're going to be needing. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the removing of bubbles. So if any of y'all are very familiar with Vinyl Frog, to my understanding, they are the more of the colored type of vinyl that they use, as well as they have the special kind of wow colors. So a lot of people might go with these people because they have more wow colors than the cast, because I'm assuming it's harder to make a good cast and have it look like it's $1 million. So let's go ahead and look at it. How to remove bubbles from vinyl wrap. All right, you're installing vinyl and everything is going smooth. When settling, there emerges a little bubble. Don't worry, read on to find out how it can be removed. All right. So right here, if you're looking at this, we got one from before. Oh man, and then after vinyl, after they took care of their business, it's like that. Yes, I'm talking about bubbles. These tiny air pockets can ruin the look of your otherwise smooth vinyl wrap. These can be prevented with proper attention during application. But even if they do show up once in a while, they can be dealt with easily. All right, how to remove vinyl wrap bubbles. Dealing with these pesky bubbles should not mean that you have to remove and reapply your vinyl wrap. You can smooth over the bubbles by applying pressure. This method, however, does not always work. Sometimes you do not get the seamless look, but it is not suitable for bigger bubbles. Let's look at a few other methods you can use. So looking at this, we got the squeegee, the air release pen, and the heat gun. How to remove vinyl wrap bubbles. So these are the 3 things that we can use. Again, we can use a squeegee, an air release pen, or a heat gun. Use a heat gun to soften the vinyl, then smooth out the bubble with a squeegee or your fingers. Use a squeegee to push the bubble out. If the bubble is close to the edge, then This is the perfect method for you. Using a squeegee, slowly push the bubble and bring it towards the nearest edge. Do not press too hard or you will leave a mark. The bubble should be forced out slowly and gently. So again, you're not trying to just push it out like, you just got to slowly push it out. All right, got to slowly push that air out of that pocket. All right, let's move on. So this is paint colors, I guess. All right, got that pink. All right, green. It's like wild colors right there. I didn't mean for you to make me move around, but here you are. This lets us know what squeegees they are offering. So again, if you come here, I guess they're $9. They're you can get a squeegee from Vinyl Frog, and it's supposed to be better than the regular apparently. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next method, the pin prick method. After application, if you see any bubbles on the vinyl surface, you can use a tiny pin to remove them. Using the pin, poke the bubble once, and using a scraper, smooth it over. Prick the bubble very lightly, and it should not be too deep so as to leave a mark on the surface underneath. One of the best tools for this is the Vinyl Frog air release pen. All right, so air release pen. They're giving this up for $5. It's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Trying to figure out the difference out of their pen and like the other type of pens. What makes theirs so much more better than the average air pen? That'll be something we can go over later. But for right now, all we're gonna be doing is just taking a look and understanding what they're offering. All right, let's get back to it. So yeah, if you want to get one of these air pens, you can get them for $5. I'm pretty sure you can definitely find them at other places, but this is theirs. I'm not a paid person from them, so. And then after that, they're squeegees. I think they really only had like 3 colors. They had it in black, pink, and green. So remember, they're known for their wild colors. As far as this, they have just 1 centimeter times 17 centimeter. They're probably talking about the round of that. All right, so it has stainless steel retractable precision needle tip that is best for effectively removing without damaging the film. The hole made in the vinyl is so small that it is not visible to the naked eye. So one thing about, like, I get, like, if you use any type of pen, just any kind of pen, and you leave a mark, it will be like leaving it on your skin. You know, if it's a tiny little needle, you know, no one's going to be able to see that needle, but people are going to be able to see an actual pen. You know, if needles were big as pens and everything like that, as far as the biggest round of a pen, please believe there will be more marks, and some of us do still probably have marks like that when people use those crazy needles. So let's move on to the next thing. So we talk about the heat application. Using either a heat gun or a blow dryer, you can apply heat over the bubble and they will disappear. Hold the heat source a few inches from the surface. Applying heat reduces the strength of the adhesive. Once the bubble flattens, use a squeegee to smooth it out. So that might be one thing. I guess like ladies will be able to have a little advantage over guys because if they are using their heat or guns or aka blow dryers, technically speaking, you have years of experience using the heat applicator. So yeah, so that's an advantage. See, they're offering different kinds: UK, European, the US type, and I guess Australia as well. So, you know, when it comes down to it, they are different plugs. So if y'all did not know, this is the EU club plug, European type of plug, the UK type of plug, which is massively different. It looks kind of like the one to the washer and dryer, right? That one, the UK, and the AU. I guess it's at Australia or something. I'm not exactly sure, but at the same time, we don't have to worry about that. Let's move on. So, how to prevent bubbles in vinyl wrap? The foremost rule to remove bubbles from your vinyl is the sooner the better. What is even better is never letting them appear in the first place. Preventative measures before and during the vinyl application process can save you lots of time and effort. Here is what you can do. Okay, so how to prevent bubbles in vinyl wrap. Before you start the process, make sure that your surface is clean and free from any debris or dust which could possibly interfere with the application. The surface should also be completely dry to get the best possible result. All right, again, this is how the best thing to do is to catch it before it becomes a on-rise problem. So if you are a painter, this right here is something that you deal with. Painters, if the longer you let it sit there, the worse and more it's gonna take to get it out. But if you lay it and then all of a sudden you see it and you are taking your time, what you do, you just knock it out as soon as it happens. You might mess around and go and finish off, and then after you finish off whatever streak or line you're doing, you come back and you'll take care of that run or whatever is going on with your paint. So because if you wait until you get everything done, by that time it's like it takes on a whole nother form of color, and then people see the runs. So be slow and steady. If you rush the process of vinyl wrapping, you might face the problem of bubbles. During the application process, press the vinyl from the center, then flatten out the edges. Apply consistent pressure can greatly reduce the probability of bubbling in your vinyl wrap. Use a squeegee to smooth out the vinyl. Working with the right tools resolves a lot of issues. So they're offering their high quality vinyl for a low cost. All right. Regardless of how much you spend, you're still gonna have to actually apply it. So that's one thing about it. So, you know, they're gonna try to push their stuff on you. So basically, it's gonna cost about $660 to use this vinyl for Vinyl Frog. If you're gonna be using this vinyl, it is gonna cost you $660. All right, so that's just in material. This is what their vampire red vinyl wrap looks like. Yeah, I recommend y'all checking out Vinyl Frog if you like the bright colors. They are a calendared type of vinyl that they mostly give out. So what that means is that their stuff in theory is gonna last probably up to 3 years, maybe 4. But at the same time, versus the cast, which is going to last like 7 to 8 years, in a sense, it's like, you know, it all depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, so that concludes what we got going on as far as the heat source and squeegee and bubbling management. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to now be watching a few of the experts do their thing, take notes and learn, because learning through others a lot of times alleviate us. Because if you're anything like me, if I was to spend $660 and I mess it up, you know, it's a bad taste in my mouth. I might not get it again, but let's say that I really want that color, I'm going to go ahead and then buy another, have to get some more components to make it happen. So in theory, the better you're at it, the less material that you're gonna mess up. So let's go ahead and check out a few videos, and then what I'm thinking is we're gonna go with one long video and a few shorts, and then we may go through another 10 minutes. So yeah, it's gonna be about 20. It's going to be Kobe. It's going to be about 24 minutes total that we're going to be on this. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go.
Car wrapping business. Let's go. I'm also going to show you price ranges and tool upgrades for better quality. But also, subscribe to the channel, because for our 2,000th subscriber, we're going to give you a free wash kit. So go ahead and subscribe now. You're almost there. Any type of tool that we're also putting in here, you'll be able to click the link below and see to get any of these tools. Affiliate links on here, so yes, I do get a little bit out of it, but nothing like what most people be making. I don't make nothing on that. Don't be showing them the next one. My all-time favorite first tool that I like to always use, that I keep in my pouch, my gloves. Don't worry, yes, I know these are dirty. I say about 5 more tools is on hand in my pouch. But these right here work the best. The reason why I like these so much is because I can wrap not only the body lines, but also areas where my squeegee can't get to. But that leads to my next one. Like I said, your squeegee is what you always gonna need on hand. Now there's different types of buffers. A buffer is this yellow one right here. They usually come in black, gray, green, but they're also different finishes. This one right here is more of a suede, a little bit stronger, made by Yellow Tools. I like this a lot because I can use it on different types of vinyl. Other types of buffers are made specifically for different types of vinyls. Now, this right here is my blade. Reason why I like this one so much, it's made by Antique Cutters for one. It's reloadable, too. But that leads to my next one. Like I said, your squeegee is what you always gonna need on hand. Now there's different types of buffers. A buffer is this yellow one right here. They usually come in black, gray, green, but they're also different finishes. This one right here is more of a suede, a little bit stronger, made by Yellow Tools. I like this a lot because I can use it on different types of vinyl. Other types of buffers are made specifically for different types of vinyls. Now, this right here is my blade. Reason why I like this one so much, it's made by Antique Cutters for one. It's reloadable, yellow, so if I drop it, I don't lose it. It's plastic, so I can easily cut cleanly, not worrying about scratching the car. This blade right here saved my life. Very sharp, very clean, used for professionals and beginners, such as yourself.
Are you struggling in your calculus class? Do you have a hard time understanding your instructor? Do you wish there was a simple...
This tool right here, this is my micro squeegee. In this kit that it usually comes in, has other micro squeegees in it. Black one and a blue one. One is a little flimsy, one is a little too sturdy. This one is the best of both worlds. It's really good when we're tucking into areas such as where your front bumper meets your front fender or your rear bumper meets your rear quarter panel. Any other tighter areas where your chrome trim may be touching your door or anything like that, this tool is the go-to tool for this. It is golden rule to always keep this in your pouch. You have to have the heat gun. If not, then you can use other options such as the torch. So you got either option, whether you're doing it mobile or you're in your shop or you got extension cords. Either or. Just know the difference between the two. This one right here heats up a lot faster and a lot hotter, but you don't have as much control over it because it's a direct flame. This one right here is not a flame. You have a little bit more control over it, But if you heat this up way too much, there's no comeback from either one of these. It all depends on your preference, which one that really works for you, and which one that you feel best fits the needs on your install. Lastly, the one that sits in my pouch that I always keep on hand is this tool right here, your Snitty. You need this to cut the vinyl with the paper backing on it. If you do not have the paper backing on it, then you need to just go ahead and use your blade. But this I like to use because it has a little plastic guard up under it, and you don't have to worry about cutting anything too deep or scratching or scraping anything. That is what you really need just to get started for your business. But these are some special tools also that I'm about to explain that shows you and proves to you that it makes your life much easier on wrapping cards. You want to know the best thing to keep all my tools in? And so come a little close. Nah, like come a little close. A little too close. Back up a little bit. Back up. Now, a little back up. Yeah, this right here is what I keep to keep all my tools, including my phone and everything else, all my tools in here. Keeps it nice, neat, safe, and out of the way. So that way I don't have to keep doing this one thing right here. Aside from all of these wrap tools, something that I really always like to keep on hand that helps me with my life and makes my life much easier, especially when I want to be walking around and not limping because I'm on the ground so much, is knee pads. Yeah, those knee pads. I have to keep these on hand because, man, my first year of rapping was pain. Knees was constantly ashy, always hurting, always in pain. Now it's time for prep. The best type of prepping tools that you need to have in your shop, at your home, whether you're prepping the car or you're just starting on your own, whatever, doesn't matter, you need these. First one, which is the strongest one, chemical guys, clean slate. That will remove all wax, dirt, and debris that you don't see off your vehicle easily, comfortably, without a problem. The next one that we say is still strong but not as strong, still another chemical guys, snow foam auto wash. This right here we use on before, during, or after. During meaning that we'll put it in our spray bottles so that way when we're doing a gloss install, we put this in here so that way it glides much easier. After, we can use this on a typical paint, gloss wraps, metallic wraps, all of these work well with it. Keeps the shine nice and clean. The last one that I always recommend is Dawn. That is the basic wash right there that you can use before, during, or after as well. Very cost effective, still good to use, and it strips off all the dirt and grime, but not really the wax. You gotta do it in steps on that part. Now that you know the soaps, you need to have some tools to use the soaps with. That's where you get this right here. Microfiber sponge. This thing right here does the job, gets the job done. Nothing special about it. You can go to Walmart and get it. Click the link right down below and you'll get it. Now, you've already washed the car. You got a pressure washer. You already pressure washed it off, rinsed it down, keep it wet. Now you want to go back and use your clay bars. There's two types of clay bars. There's the synthetic one and there's the actual clay bar. These work great on removing the dirt and debris that you don't see, so you don't have those little small pimples everywhere on your hood or bumpers or wherever that you're about to wrap at. After I've washed, clay barred, now it's time to dry out the vehicle. So use one of those little ShamWow towels. Don't use just a regular towel or your microfiber rag. It's not going to get the job done quicker or stronger or better at all, but the ShamWow towel will. That thing does the job every time. Just don't get any soap on it. That makes it really bad then. And you gotta wet it too, because if you don't wet it, then it's just a brittle piece of cloth that you're just running against your car. When you're removing emblems, can't stress this enough. A lot of people do it different ways. It's okay, fine, whichever way works for you. But I know what works for me. This fishing line. This right here helps me remove any emblems that I have to struggle to get off. Don't want to pry it off and mess between the double-sided tape, and you'll get it right off each and every time. So that guy already knows because he's been removing a whole lot of emblems. When you remove the emblems off, it's gonna leave that double-sided tape residue. What do you need to do? Remove it with turtle wax, label a sticker remover. It's gonna help. Just don't leave it on there and don't put it on rubber. It's gonna mess it up. What you should do is just leave it on there for a minute, and then you can come back with a plastic razor or your chiseler to take that off. Your next steps is always to get your squeegee bottles. And I suggest you get 3 or 4 of them. But in this squeegee bottle is alcohol. rubbing alcohol, not drinking. Get that right. You want to go ahead and use this to remove any of the wax, any type of contaminants maybe on the car, any dust that may be settling. This is your last step on this right here. Now that all the prep is done, you want to go ahead and start to tape off this car, especially if you don't have magnets or your car is not magnetized. You definitely want to use this. Not only do we use it for those areas, but we also put it around areas such as your trim or making racing stripes. These work very well with it. You need to have this big roll too, especially if you're starting out. Now that we're in here and you just see the tape, you may need magnets. These magnets always work. There's different types. Some are stronger than the others, but they all get the job done because you're gonna need extra hands. You're wrapping by yourself. It doesn't matter. Some panels are about 10 feet long. You're gonna need something to hold it down while you're on the other way. But if you can't use magnets and your car is not magnetized, then use tape, just like I said before. Now there's two types of tapes. One is the tape that you measure with, the other tape is what you cut with. Knifeless tape, measuring tape. Use both of these, use them correctly. This one, measure. This one, cut. Know the difference. These two are made to make your vinyl stay down for the long. One is put on before, the other one's put on after. This one right here is primer 90. There's a different type of edge seal that's in a tape form as well. There's only one type of primer. It may come in smaller quantities of it, but these are the two that really work very well on making sure that your vinyl sticks and stays for the long. These two do not help if you overstretch the vinyl. Doesn't matter. It's still gonna peel back regardless. But these will help if you didn't overstretch it. This is an adhesive promoter or edge sealer to seal it off to make sure that nothing else gets up under there, such as moisture or air. So you finished wrapping already. Before you just go ahead and hand it back to the client, you need to post heat this vehicle. Post heating it, you're gonna use your infrared thermometer along with this bad boy right here. This right here really post heats a vehicle. If you don't have this, you don't feel like you can afford this just yet, which is about $300 or $400 on it, then use your heat gun because you can shoot all the temperatures and make sure that it gets post heated to the right temperature. Hot enough. Yes, this right here will heat up everything that you need. It also has a timer on it and it has 2 levels, so you can go ahead and just use one level on it or both on there. So use it wisely, do not abuse it. Don't sit there and try to heat it up or heat up your shop with this. That is not what it's made. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you what it is made, making sure that all wraps are laid down with no bubbles, cleanly. But if you do want to heat up your shop, I suggest using this big boy right here. This is the heater that we use, propane, and it does, obviously you gotta plug it in still, but it doesn't use as much electricity, nor will it trip your breakers or anything like that, like your home heaters would. This right here will blow hot, hard, and very, very, very strong, and heat up the whole shop. Right now we got a 2,000 square foot shop, and it heats up everything. But we do got a heater, but we'd rather not use it when we got this bad boy right here. And in this video right here, we're gonna show you all the vinyl that you can use as a beginner.
This is everything you're going to need to wrap your car. First is a heat source. Whether it's a heat gun or a torch, you're going to need one. You're also going to need a squeegee. I personally like geek wrap squeegees, but other people like the off wrap ones. Knifeless tape is a must, especially if you're two-piecing bumpers. Another must have is knife blades, and make sure you're constantly changing these so you never have a bad cut.
Have you ever wanted to wrap your car from home? Here are some things that you need. First off, you're going to need a roll of vinyl, which you can find at auravinyl.com. Second off, you're going to need some basic wrap tools such as a glove, a squeegee, tug tools, a blade, and a heat gun. Third, you're going to need some soapy water and clay bar to clean your car before you start wrapping. Lastly, you want to use alcohol and a microfiber to clean up any excess oils or harsher contaminants that the soapy water missed.
Do you know what eating banana can do to your liver? Bananas are actually edible when they're still green.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's goal on the FRS is, of course, to get the whole car vinyl.
Yeah, so just in case y'all missed it, it's a few things that those creators. The first one, I like him. You know, kind of long animated. He kind of gives us examples. He's actually in the shop, and the other two were good to kind of let us know that, you know, hey, one guy was like, hey, you can do it from home, and blase. But so yeah, a few things that were added was the primer 94. We've heard about that one. As far as the just understanding what the buffer is when it comes to the Sqeegee, the first guy kind of helped us understand like the different kind of clay bars. One was like a synthetic clay bar, another one's a clay bar. The clay bar is really used to pick up just the little items and debris that you might have missed when you were just washing it. And after that, he recommended Camos tools. That's one thing that he recommended. I don't know if you really want to use the Camos, the Chamos or whatever it's called, instead of the microfiber towels. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it out before I recommend either or. But I do know microfiber does pick up a lot of debris that you really can't just see or even touch half the time. So that's one thing. And then he offered two different chemical guys. One was snow foam, and I'm not exactly sure what the other one was, but both of them are chemical guys. So chemical guys is a good cleaning agent that we could use in a sense. Something that the other people were not bringing to our attention is the Sqeegee. The Sqeegee is a blade tool, and that is something that I feel that it looks like it may be worth the investment if you're going to be doing more than one. If you're going to be doing one, then it might not be worth it. But if you're going to be doing two, get it. You know, that the microfiber sponge, that was another one that I seen that was pretty good. Then the micro Sqeegees, and all that is really just the plastic tools. That's what that was. Then if you are looking to to remove the emeralds, he was saying you can just use fishing line to do that. You can use fishing line. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular or anything with the name car wrap, just fishing lines. And that use a turtle wax to remove the double adhesive material. And after that, you say, hey. But yeah, and of course the spray bottles, because the spray bottles is where you can have the alcohol and water in. Remember, it's 70-30, 70% alcohol, 30% water. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. So this final, we're gonna watch the final video. All right, and then at that point, it's gonna be about 12 minutes. At that point, we're gonna go ahead and call it quits. But yeah, let's do it.
Vinyl wrap. So we already got the wide body kit done. Today's goal is to get the whole body, the stock body of the car vinyl wrapped. And I want to show you guys how to do that in a 10-minute or less video. So you're going to need some vinyl wrap. You're going to need isopropyl alcohol. This is 70% diluted, knifeless tape, a squeegee, a knife, and a wrap glove. I do not have a wrap glove. You'll also need a heat gun and a color to vinyl wrap. The last thing you're going to need is a clay bar or a clay mitt. I prefer clay mitt. It seems to work quite a bit easier and it's much quicker than a clay bar. That is the first thing we're going to do. We have the car so much torn apart right now. I just got the front fender off and the bumper off. We're going to be working on the quarter panel and door first. We're going to be laying all that out in one section. So the first thing we are going to do is clean up the surface of the paint with the clay mitt. We got the whole car clay barred up. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab the isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free towel and get all the edges and corners clean. And then as soon as you get all this clean, I'm gonna grab another clean lint-free towel and wipe down the actual surface of the paint that we will be vinyl wrapping. The car is all wiped down. We are ready to start vinyl wrapping. I'm going to lay the vinyl up against the side of the car, and then we'll use those wrap magnets to kind of hold it in place, get it positioned, get a lot of the extra vinyl trimmed off, and then we can peel the clear protective layer off the vinyl, peel the backing off, and get vinyl wrapping this whole side of the car. We have the vinyl wrapping position. I'm just going to go through with a knife right now, trim off the window area, trim off the wheel well, and trim off all the excess vinyl, like along the roof rails that we don't need. So we got the vinyl positioned where we want it. This is the glassing phase. You want to get pretty much all the wrinkles out. The main thing I was focused on right now was this quarter panel, because that door's super flat, the pillar is all easy to do. As soon as I get the quarter panel done, I can blast them. All those wrinkles out right there. But I'm going to start with squeegeeing out this quarter panel, and then I'll work my way on the pillar, and then I'll finish off with the door. I'll be using the squeegee for metro restyling and applying heat where heat is necessary. We have the whole quarter panel laid out and that roof pillar laid out. Next thing I'm gonna do is kind of heat up the vinyl for the door and glass that out, and then that should probably be another 5 minutes and we'll have this whole side wrapped. Well, just like that, the quarter panel, pillar, door.
Have you ever seen a magical product that can instantly restore rusty iron items to like new condition? This is precisely what the ultra-strong steel rust removal
And that lower panel that I didn't even need to wrap because it's covered anyway, those are all wrapped up. Last thing to do is to trim off all the excess vinyl. We got to go around this window seal. We have to go in between the door and the quarter panel. In between the door and the quarter panel, what you're going to want to do so you don't see the color underneath, even though it's dark gray, I don't want to see it at all. I'm going to ride my knife along the edge of the door. It's going to leave a tiny bit of vinyl on the door to fold over, and then the other side we're going to fold onto the quarter panel side. When the door's closed, you're not going to be able to see the dark gray underneath at all. I could have done the fender at the same time as well, but that's kind of a lot of work. Even doing the door and the quarter panel together isn't necessary. It's quite a bit faster to do them together, I've noticed. I'll show you on the other side though. You don't have to do them together. I'll do the quarter panel and door separately. The whole quarter panel and door are both done. Here is the panel right here that I'm going to slap on the front fender. Let's go ahead and bang that panel out. Alright my friends, this whole side of the car is done. I'm going to go ahead, flip it around, bang out the other side. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do the quarter panel and door separately. It's a bit slower that way, but it can be done. And then I'll do the hood and the trunk. Both are super flat, so it'll be easy to do. And then we can move on to the bumpers. So we got the piece cut that we needed. I'm going to go through one more time, clean up all the edges and the surface with isopropyl alcohol. Then we can get to laying the vinyl wrap down. One thing I'm going to do with this whole panel that we're doing right here, I'm going to peel the backing off to probably right about here. Leave that whole section for later. So we can get this whole piece done right here. And then once all that's finished up, we can peel the backing off and bust that section out. This is literally the worst thing that could possibly happen right now. I got the whole quarter panel laid out, 100% perfect. Came up here, ripped the backing off. What the hell is going on here? I have a big ass crack right in the center of my vinyl. And because it's in the center, like not on the top or the bottom, to where I can't stretch it over and make it go away, pretty sure I'm gonna have to redo this whole
quarter panel. It's like 10 feet of vinyl, so I may have to order more vinyl now. I have no clue what happened. Maybe I cut through it when I was cutting the backing. I don't know. That sucks though. The very last thing we need to wrap for this car are the front and rear bumpers. I'm going to start off with the rear. Front is going to be quite difficult. We have a bunch of inlays to do. On the rear, we should only have one single inlay.
Tough luck.
The very last thing we need to do is this front bumper. One major tip is, I actually got this from Daniel over at Premium Auto Styling. This bumper stock, the vinyl wrap will not stick to. Now if you go through and heat it up with a torch, somehow it like opens up the pores and allows the vinyl to stick to it. Now after you heat it up, let it cool down a little bit, grab some isopropyl alcohol on a rag. Go ahead and wipe down the area. So this side over here wasn't heated, this side was. See how easy that comes off? Literally right to the heat line. If you're doing a unpainted bumper on your car, heat it up and...
The police officer at the scene told me to never sue the driver who crashed into me after my car accident. I took his advice and got...
The vinyl will stick to it just fine. Now I haven't really showed you guys anything with inlays in this video yet. That'd be like a 10-minute video in itself. But basically, it's so intricate down here that we have a panel right here. We have, let's see, a panel in here, another inlay, and then one panel covering the whole thing. I am seaming this bumper in two different parts. I could probably have done away with this and that together, but there is a very nice body line right there, so that is going to hide the seam perfectly. Make sure you do this lower panel first and then the top, and it'll overlap and completely hide that seam when you're looking at it from up top. Well boys, here she is, fully wrapped, looking absolutely amazing. I'm so freaking pumped with how this vinyl wrap came out. I know she's a little bit dusty and not put together all the way. Fenders are cut for the wide body kit, which we don't have on. Ooh, this thing's gonna look freaking amazing when it's all put together. Now if you wanna try and vinyl wrap your car at home yourself, I'll have everything I used in this video down in the description box below. I guess I'll take this time to give a little quick review of the cheater wrap. First time using cheater wrap, I've used 3M, I used Vivid, I've used Avery. I like sheet wrap a lot, but the only problem I have with it is there's pretty bad glue lines in it. 3M, I did notice glue lines as well. Avery, I didn't really ever notice much glue lines at all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't the most in-depth tutorial video ever, but I do have other wrapping videos on the channel. Go check them out. I've done probably like 5 to 10 vinyl wrapping videos before, so stay tuned for the next video. When we get the wide body kit on, we'll throw the wing back on. We're just gonna kind of throw this car back together. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next vlog.
All right, hey, so we're gonna wrap it up. I hope that you are getting the equipment and tools that are best for you. Remember, whatever vinyl you decide to get, that is your choice. If you want it to last long, you're gonna probably spend over $500+ If you want it to last for 2 to 3 years, you may be able to find some stuff under 500, even up. Like I've seen some that I'm gonna use for like 240. I'm not gonna front, and the reason why is because I plan on switching up colors, which calendars are good, because if you plan on switching up the color within a few years or flipping, then it's a good choice. But until then, let's go hit the streets.
that are involved